So Claire's has entered into administration, guys, and I wanted to talk about it because Claire's is one of those, I'm sure everybody has a memory of Claire's. Forgot how old I was. I went with my friend who's currently not in the country at the moment, but I went with him when we were young to get his ears pierced. Now you guys know me, no piercings, no tattoos. I'm not for that. I don't believe in that. But I remember going with my sister to get her ears pierced as well. Claire's was just always that store. It's like, okay, if you need some little accessories or if you need some hair clip or, you know, if you need your ear pierced, you're gonna go to Claire's. Well, I thought I'd explain to you guys, you know, make a video on this and explain to you guys what exactly this means, the fact that they're in administration. Because administration is the phase that comes just before insolvency, when all solutions are out of the window. When you're in administration, people from outside come into the business and they try and find a solution to save it. Now, I didn't know Claire's was owned by an American company. Their American company went bankrupt in 2018 and they've now declared, I think it's Chapter 11 bankruptcy, whatever that means. I'm not too versed on American bankruptcy laws. And what is actually scary, guys, is the over 2,000 jobs that are at risk here. And we've seen this same scenario play out so many times in this country with flagship high street stores. We're seeing over the country, high streets are dead. I'm just making sure my camera's on there, but we've seen around the country that high streets are dead and they're being replaced by just deadness, you know, clear money laundering operations, just your normal shops, you know, corner shops and that, but there's no life on high streets anymore, bro. And you could place a lot of that blame on companies like Amazon, you know, online ordering, because me as a young person, I don't really go out shopping. I only go out shopping if I need something right now or if I'm collecting something. I don't go out just to shop and maybe find something. But my main concern here was the pensions, you know. When a business goes bust, you'd be thinking, okay, all the people who've worked there their whole lives, because Claire's has been around for a long time, what's going to happen to their pensions? And, you know, after doing some checking, their pensions are safe, because I remember what happened with BHS with Sir Philip Green. Shouldn't even really call him Sir, but he sold BHS for £1. You guys might not remember, but British home stores where I used to get my school shirts from there. I used to get my school trousers from there. He sold it to someone else who was previously went bankrupt and had no retail experience for £1. And they say that he sold it to avoid having to pay out for the pension. Because of the way the pension was structured, it could have either gone to the Pension Protection Fund, or I think it's called PPF, and it's a government organization that was established in, I researched this before it was established in 2004, and it was brought in place to protect people's pensions, because if a business goes bust, you don't want to lose your pension, you know. But now with new modern structures, people's pensions are usually safe. They're usually handled by a different organization, so that money is not going to be affected by a business going into administration or going insolvent. But after months of pressure, he was certain, you know, public outrage, Philip Green, he ended up paying 363 million towards the pension, even though, you know, it needed 571 million pounds to, you know, stay at the same level that it was. And, you know, people who worked there for a long time, I mean, I think the people who were already retired, they ended up getting 100% of their pension, but less of an increase, because pensions do increase to keep up with inflation. It doesn't keep up with inflation. And people who had not yet retired, they were the ones who ended up losing out, you know, big time. Then they're going to lose like they're getting around £3,000 less every year for like the rest of their lives when they get into retirement. That's gonna add up. You live for another 20 years after that, that's 60k. And the higher up managers are the ones who suffered the biggest loss, because this came with a cap. They capped it at the maximum you could be paid for retirement would be £37,000 a year. And there were people who were about to retire, who were expecting to be paid £57,000 a year. So can you imagine how they're feeling and how angry they are? And then you've got this guy who's already rich, you know, just thinking, I don't want to pay £363 million. I don't want to pay that. I'm going to sell it and dodge it. You know, it's not fair. But the world's not fair, man. Then we've got here, if you guys remember, I think it was in 2018, Debenhams went bankrupt. And this one, I mean, I'm not happy with all the, you know, the staff, what happened to the staff. But that was where I had my first ever job interview. I didn't end up getting the job. And not long after, they ended up going bust. And my family still makes jokes about it, saying it's because they never hired you. Debenham workers' long wait for justice is over. USDOR, US-DOR. I know that's a union. That's a union. Welcomes the tribunal verdict and calls for a reform of redundancy law. I forgot to mention Sir Philip Green. I've closed the article, but he was paid like, he paid himself like £400 million in dividends. And it's good that the employees for Debenhams, it took them till 2023 to get some justice, because in 2003, Debenhams was bought for £600 million by a private equity firm. And similar to what you're seeing with Manchester United, why they're operating so terribly now, is because what they did was take out a loan to buy the business, but put that debt onto the business. So Debenhams was basically going to pay for the new owners to own it. That's a common tactic used by private equity funds. They loaded it with like 1.2 billion pounds worth of debt and paid themselves, the private equity fund paid themselves 1.3 billion pounds in dividends. You're pretty much stripping the company, bro. Like, what do you expect? Like, you just hearing that doesn't even make any sense. But I'm just telling you guys, you know, these different scenarios, these different situations, so you can just think about what's going to happen to Claire's. But from what I can see, their pensions should be fine. They might be forced to take a pension cut. You know, some of the workers there, people who've dedicated their lives to the company. That's why you shouldn't dedicate your life to a corporation, because you're just a number on a spreadsheet. They don't care about you. However, the pension situation's resolved. You're not going to be kept up with inflation as much as other pension funds. Banks in the UK, which terrified me in my video about Monzo and Starling, they don't need to keep at least 10% of your money. So I don't reckon they have any of anyone's money. And everyone's money is guaranteed by the FCA, the Financial Compensation Scheme, up to £85,000. So if a bank does go bust and all their customers need to be reimbursed, where are they getting the money from? Where are they getting the money from? National debt is at £3 trillion. It's the same as GDP. Where is that money coming from? They're going to print more money. And when they print more money, your money becomes less valuable. Inflation's going to get worse. So it's not looking good. Hey, you. Hey, good looking. Hey, leave a like on the video, please. Costs nothing, takes no time, helps boost me up in the algorithm. If you don't like the video, you're not good looking. So you have to like it now. Thank you. Cheers. Another likely outcome for Claire's would be Mike Ashley to take him on, because you guys know Mike Ashley bought House of Fraser. I still think the House of Fraser in Westfield, that's been there for as long as I can remember. When I say Westfield, I'm talking about Westfield in Shepherd's Bush. I'm sure that House of Fraser is still there. But they ended up closing a lot of House of Fraser stores when he ended up taking it over. Obviously stripped it for what he could, stripped it for parts, closed down most of the stores, moved operations to online, or focused heavier on their online operations, used his other ownerships, like, you know, he owns Sports Direct, you know, done them things there. I'm pretty sure I've seen a Sports Direct and House of Fraser in one. Or is that on Oxford Street? I'm sure I've seen a lot of these mesh together shops like Blue Ink, Sports Direct. I'm sure there's one, it's like that on Oxford Street. You've even seen Game in House of Fraser now. I think, did Mike Ashley buy Game? Fraser's group. So I think Mike Ashley owns Game. And now I've seen Game in the Westfield House of Fraser. Game is like GameStop in the UK. Yeah, I used to, so much of my childhood memories in Game, man. But the question you might have is, oh yeah, here, look in the article. Part of my childhood. Exactly. Yeah, part of my childhood as well. Who is texting me? Oh my God. Another text. It's my auntie. I can't ignore her. The question you might have is, oh, A-level results today. Congratulations to anyone who got your A-level results today. I got mine during COVID, so I just got my predicted grades. Lucky me. Never had to take my A-levels. But not to poo-poo, I mean, enjoy it. Be happy in the moment, because life's about enjoying moments. Be happy that you got good results. But just remember, that is nothing in life yet. Trust me, you're just starting. This is where it starts to go downhill. Well, it doesn't have to go downhill. It's where it went uphill for me. But for most people, it's where it starts going downhill. You have to keep your head up, keep your mind focused, and just do things outside of uni. Going to uni does not mean that your life is set. It doesn't. That's the myth that was sold to me. You going to uni, would I recommend it personally? Even though I went myself, I wouldn't recommend it, but people are going to get onto me for that. Depends on what you're doing, to be honest. But while you're in uni, use that time to do other things. Like, do other things. Don't just waste all your time studying. It's not a waste of time to study, but learn some other skills outside, build something, try things. That's the time where you can take risks. Like, you can be on zero while you're in uni and it's not a problem. Take risks, like, 'cause that's the best time for you to just take risks. And yeah, you might fail, you will fail, but you'll learn from that, and that will put you ahead of other people once you graduate, because you would have made mistakes and learned. There's other people who will leave uni still not have taken any risks. So failure might hit them harder. It will hit them harder. You have to fail when it doesn't matter, so you learn and apply that to your life, man. That's the best advice I can give. Because if I wasn't doing other things in uni and I just focused on uni, you wouldn't be watching me you wouldn't be watching me right now. I wouldn't be in my studio right now. But for Claire's, what do I think could likely happen to Claire's? Well, they're a known brand. They're a known name. Somebody like Mike Ashley could buy it. Unfortunately, most of these shops are going to close. They're going to close down. Only the main shops are going to stay. Maybe a rebrand would help with Claire's. With social media, it's very possible, bro. One post could, you know, start a complete rebrand in the UK for Claire's. They've got supply chains. They've got supply lines. You know, they've got those things there are valuable. They take time to build. You have to take losses to build efficient supply chains, you know, and their relationships with their suppliers. You know, there's a lot of value in this company and this brand. Here we can see Claire's Accessories UK Limited. They're owned by the American company. Oof, it's going to be sad to see Claire's go, man. But we've seen it with so many other companies in this country, man. It's the death of the high street. People predicted it. It was a little theory, little tinfoil hat theory before. but it's happening. It's happening. We know in the end, people are going to lose their jobs, going to be forced to take a pension cut, and their pensions their pensions are not going to increase as much as they should to keep up with inflation. Inflation's going to get more out of control as time goes on, and the working man, woman gets screwed. It's the story of life, mate. It's what happens. I think it all went downhill from when Toys R Us closed down, to be honest. Yeah, when Toys R Us started going bust, you know, and I thought, yeah, that was my childhood, man. It's sad to see. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you did enjoy it, please be sure to give it a like. Chung-Lee, stop looking at me. You're not moving, because I don't want to hear from you today. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace and love to every single one of you. And the way it's looking right now, RIP Claire's. You know, but you never know. It might get saved. It might stay around, you know. Hopefully the jobs get saved, man. That'll be a good thing, man. Peace.